Throughout my teenage years, I didn't believe in God. I had Christian friends, but I thought their faith was silly and a waste of time. My ignorance led me to think that being a believer meant following the Ten Commandments, going to church, and praying a lot. That wasn't something I wanted to do. I had heard of Jesus, but I didn't know him. I mocked my friends for believing in someone I thought didn't exist. In the summer of 1994, I went to a church camp with some friends. My main goal was to enjoy the weather, the outdoors, and have fun. I figured I'd ignore all the religious stuff and focus on the recreational activities. One night, during a gospel discussion, I felt intrigued, even though it was my first time hearing it. It started to make sense to me, and I felt strangely rushed. After reading the last passage, we were given the chance to accept Jesus through prayer. Personally, I didn't want to accept Christ. My heart raced, but I didn't want to give in. The gospel was true, but my mind refused to acknowledge it. Finally, when it was my turn to make a decision, I broke down, overwhelmed. I let Jesus into my life, and I felt the Holy Spirit filling me. I wish I could say that being saved was a major turning point, but it wasn't. I was a seed that fell on rocky ground. Matthew 13:20. I had salvation, but I was distracted by the world. I wasn't living a wild, partying life like the prodigal son, but I didn't go to church, didn't pray, and didn't even touch my Bible. In February 2004, I was in a serious car accident. I was in a coma for 18 hours. During that time, Susan found out why I hadn't shown up to work or called in. When she learned the news from my mother, she immediately rallied people to pray for my recovery. When I woke up, I didn't know I had been in a car accident. A nurse in the hospital room explained to me what had happened and that my family was on their way. I cried. I could have died at any moment.
Miraculously, even though a power pole had pierced halfway through the car, I had no broken bones. I only had a mild concussion and body aches. I kept thanking God for keeping me alive. I knew God didn't cause the accident, but everything happened so that his name may be glorified.